The Lagos Internal Revenue Service (LRS) is a major funding arm of the Lagos State Government, charged with the responsibility of collecting taxes and other revenues. To further entrench transparency and accountability in revenue collection and increase capacity of local revenue collection organs, the LRS sponsored a workshop for stakeholders in the revenue collection system of the state, local government and local council development area of Lagos State on Tuesday, November 1st, 2022.
The department, which its operational.
The program held at the Oluma Hall, Lagos Airport Hotel, Ikeja, was an avenue to explore on how to make revenue collectors more professional in handling their duties.
In this act,
The lead consultant, Koki and Associate, Mr. Kennedy Bamibeton, explained the rationale behind the workshop themed Professionalizing Revenue Collection in Local Governments of Lagos State.
On one occasion, I was with the chairman of the LRS, and I said, look, as a leader, you are the leader in tax collection system of Lagos State. There's no doubt about that. And there's a way in which you can assist local governments by helping them, by raising the standard to your own level. And I want to thank the chairman of LRS, Mr. Ayosube, for considering this proposal and deciding that let us even workshop it. Let us see whether it's a good idea. Let us see whether it's an idea that its time has come. And that's why you find that in the structure of this workshop, we have brought in the stakeholders, people who in their course of work will have to deal with this issue.
The LRS chairman, Mr. Ayo Subao, represented by the LRS station manager, Mr. Shegun Tijani, and the director of local government affairs, Mr. Amadou Razak, explained the foundational basis for local government revenue collection and the benefits of professionalizing revenue collection respectively.
the issue of revenue has gone beyond armchair. It's gone beyond just walking up to a taxpayer or a trader, as the case may be, armed with the provision of the law that you pay this. The birds, that is taxpayers, have learned to fly without perching. So as such, as revenue professionals, we also must critically review our modus of operandi and the means by which we go about our collection. Outdoor advertising and hoarding. I want to say that this aspect of local government revenue, I don't know if there's any local government that is collecting such in Lagos State today. We have LASA, that is where government also has come in. It is very, very instructive at this point to begin to look at it holistically, that the vibrancy of the third arm of government rely largely on its ability to generate enough revenue to be able to meet the needs of the electorate and the general public.
The relationship between the LRS and the local governments, I believe that relationship is not good enough, despite the fact that we have a state joint tax revenue committee, of which I'm a member, and we have conference 57 also as a member. But I think there should be a solid, a good arrangement, a good relationship between the two, so that all this issue of multiple taxation, this and that, can be addressed at that level. So, and on that basis, I want to urge LRS to really look into that aspect and try as much as possible to encourage and boost that relationship between the state joint tax revenue committee, so that they have regular meetings and things like that, so as to profile and look at challenges where necessary for possibility of providing solutions to all that.
Current trends in revenue ecosystem in most local governments and professionalizing revenue process were highlighted and explained by the former secretary of the LRS board, Mr. BC Ali, while Mr. Olusegun Daine The executive chairman of Idublo Baiku LCDA explicates on how it developed his LCDA.
You used to be a very viable source of revenue for the local governments. Inability of the local government to manage rates effectively and efficiently, the state government took it over. Signage, inability of the local government to do the right thing, the state government took over signage. Waste management is supposed to be a major source of revenue for local government. The state has taken over. Registration of birth and death, these are sources of revenue that the state government, the federal, are taking over from the local governments. Well, the state of local governments, there is need for us to shift. You cannot deny that. Number one, drastic drop in allocation from federation accounts. There's issue now. Money is not coming in from the federation accounts again. The economy is bad. We have weak internally generated revenue, leading to there are so many problems at the local government level now. Inability to meet recurrent expenditure. We have revenue leakages and underassessment. Large pool of unremitted rates and levies. Ineffective education and enlightenment amongst the taxpayers. These are the major problems that we have. Yes, not all of them might affect you as a local government, but you can be rest assured that these are issues that affect revenue generation.
The highest revenue ever collected in the history of Igbogubai LCDA was around 18.4 million annually. I am about to say that as at the end of last year, we made above 70 million without adding any new rates, without increasing any tax. So what we have done is to block holes and professionalize the practice. So the first thing that should be done by any local government who wants to add value to its revenue is to seek for all laws of the land that protects the operation, the collection, and hide under that. So what I did was to prepare a working document and send an executive bill to my legislator, pass it as a law, that henceforth there is Igbogubai Internal Revenue Committee.
The chairman of HBLCDA, Honorable Masudin Olede Bello, appreciated the organizers and advised that traditional institutions should also be invited for enlightenment, and Honorable Sosimi Olubowale charged the stakeholders to adopt professionalizing revenue collection.
I would even advise and suggest that in our subsequent gathering like this or workshops, traditional institutions should also be invited, so that they need to understand where the power, the limitations. There's a local saying that it's assumed that once you have a local environment, it belongs to the local government. So there must be a clear definition of who owns this or who owns that.
Professionalism in revenue collection has come to stay, one way or the other, because we have professionals handling most of these things. And no suggestion has come up with the fact that we need not adopt it. So that means it's a welcome thing. The challenges are just how to fine-tune. And we have a brilliant example, practical one from Igbogubai, which I believe at the commission level, we might need to expatiate, we might need to even engage in, and we will find a synergy. Our role is to complement the 57. So we are not in competition, because the welfare of the staffs at the local government remains germane and it's paramount. So we are going to work with them. We are going to work with the CM, the CT, to present a common position.
While defending professionalizing revenue collectors, the Central Treasurer, Mr. Adebiji Adebinga Hakim, stated that there is bound to be a conflict because of the billing system of Lagos State, with a compliment from the chairman of Human Resources Officer, Honorable Ali Balogun Babatunde.
You professionalize the staff by training them. There is no problem in bringing in people from outside to add to their ideas and whatever, sir. Now, sir, ministries, sir, you are here, sir. Commissions, sir, you are here, sir. They said Lagos State is operating a unified system, but some of us are actually not happy. They are too scared at the state level. Let us see that equality, transparency, accountability at every level. If they are doing a kind of enforcement at the state. If you do it at the local government, let it stand.
When you talk about revenue in the local government, you are talking about the blood, the lifeline in a body. And that body is the local government. Without revenue, the local government may not be able to perform or, get the organizational goal, which is efficient and improved service delivery. With that, I want to look at the process of, developing a revenue team. I want to subscribe to what has been said earlier, that we can do an intermingle of people from outside the local government as well as people, but they must be knowledgeable of, one, the environment where they are going. When you send somebody out and the person does not know that giving pleasantry is the beginning of business, you create problem. And that brings me back to training. You have to train them on ethics, interpersonal relations. How do you gain from difficult terrain? What I've just explained to you. How do you manage difficult people? So that when you go out, you maximize.
As Lagos State moves towards meeting the needs of a mega city, the LRS would facilitate this process by putting in place structures that will ensure collection of proper amount of tax revenue at the least cost.